Hey, welcome back to Daz's Random Stuff. Today we're going to be taking the G310GS, the BMW. We are going to be doing a comparison on the 16-tooth front sprocket, comparing it to the 17-tooth front sprocket that we're going to be putting on. This thing's revving its brains out at 100 k's. It's revving at about 6,000 RPM, so I want to pull it back. Would be awesome to pull it back about 1,000 RPM. Like at 100 k's, it's vibrating the seat. It's just really annoying. It's revving too hard. So we're going to be swapping that out. We're going to be doing the comparison today. We're going to go for a spin right now and check out how many RPM this thing is doing at 100 k's. And then we're going to swap it out with the 17-tooth sprocket. And we're going to compare. Let's go. Don't run into the Porsche. I'll get up to 60 k's and see what revs we're doing at 60. There you go, 60 k's. So that's 4,000 RPM at 60 k's. So you can see that there. Hopefully you can see it. The shadows aren't in the way. Turn the indicator off, I'll be right. So 4,000 RPM at 60. So I don't think this front sprocket change out is going to affect the bottom end speed too much, which is good because I like the low torque of this bike. So we don't want to lose that in changing out the front sprocket. We're going to find ourselves a 100k road, 80k comparison. There's our 80 k's an hour. Try and hold it there, will be nice. About 4,900 RPM. Pretty close to 5,000, but I would say 4,900 RPM at 80 k's. We'll be in the 100k zone in a minute. We're going to let her fly. Let her launch. Gets to 100k, it's pretty quick this bike. It's pretty good for a 300cc. Alright, this is our 100k road coming up in about 1 minute's time. Sprocket off, whack on the 17-tooth and see what difference it makes. 6,000 RPM at 100 k's. It's fairly revving. As you can see, I'm due for my service. Look at that, 1,100 k's. A little bit over, we'll be right. So that's really revving hard. I reckon 6,000 RPM at 100 k's. That's just revving too hard. It's vibrating the seat, and it's just not really pleasant. So hopefully we can pull that back by a bit. This is how good a bike this thing is. See that? Straight on the road. We'll just take the shortcut home through the paddock because we can. It's such a versatile bike, it's so much fun. Let's sneak through the paddocks because we can. Oh, it's a bit wet there. It's such a versatile bike, it's a great little machine. It's so light, 160 kilos, plenty of power. can, you can do that. There is our comparisons. So we've got 60 k's an hour, 4,000 RPM. 80 k's an hour, 4,900 RPM, touching 5,000. 100 k's an hour, we're up around 6,000, actually 6,000 RPM. It's vibrating the seat, it's just a bit unpleasant, so let's get to it. All right, so what I want to do first, look at that, the handy dandy toolkit Daytona, she's a ripper. What I want to do first is, I think, take this cover off the front sprocket and then try and crack the nut underneath there while we've got the chain on, so it gives us a bit of support so that sprocket's just not going to spin. So I reckon that's our first job. Sorry, I forgot to mention first thing, music. Bit of Rolling Stones, beautiful. That'll do. Local station, going to be happy with that. Alright, so I'm going to whip out these 2 screws here, which look to me like 5mm Allen keys. Put that in there, and there it is, H5, that's good. Most of the stuff you'll find on here is H5. Put it in reverse. Just crack them and they'll be quite easy to get out. A bit of a tricky spot. And there you go. There's the cover off. And there's our sprocket. There is our stock standard 16-tooth BMW 310 socket. Oh, sorry, sprocket. So that's the bolt we want to get out. And that is going to be, let's guess it about 12mm. Oh, look at that. 12mm perfection. Don't know if it's a left-hand thread or right. Oh, she's just a normal thread. Sometimes on these spinning items you can get a left-hand thread, which is different. So that's just going to come off now, which is awesome. Oh, there we go. Perfection. So there you go, there's your front sprocket off. So what we need to do now, because we're putting a bigger sprocket on there, we need to pull the wheel forward. We need to pull that adjustment forward to bring the whole wheel, everything forward, so we get more tension on the chain, more slack on the chain, to be able to put the bigger sprocket in and then put the chain back on it and slip it back onto the spline, do it up. Bob's your uncle. So that was pretty easy to get off, which was very good. So there's our 17-tooth sprocket. What we'll do is have the 17 on the outside so we can see what it is if we forget because we're old. Oh no, it's just me. Alrighty, let's pull this wheel back up a bit. Get a bit of slackness on this chain. Alright, let's adjust up our rear wheel, pull it in to get some slack on the chain. 27mm socket you'll need for this. Just crack it. Oh. So that's a nylock, so you're just going to have to, that was a fair bit of tension on that the whole time. So all we do is just crack that so it's loose, the back wheel will now be loose. And we're going to adjust that bolt there, bring it in, and that'll allow us to move the whole wheel forward to get slack on the chain. Alright, so I'm just going to crack that, pull that all the way back, because we're going to have to put our front sprocket on and then readjust all this to the tensions that they specify there on the swing arm. So if we pull that right out and just crack that off, that should allow us to loosen that right off. Pull these all the way in. We'll do exactly the same to the other side. Just crack that, loosen that off, roll that all the way back in, all the way back down to the nut, the bolt, sorry. Alright, so we've wound that off a fair way, that little tensioner, and you can just pull the wheel in like so. That is going to give us more slack on the chain, so you can just get this sprocket out easily. So you can see we've got heaps of slack on that chain now. So you should be able to just get that out. There is your 16 tooth original sprocket. And that is our 17. Okay, there's not a heap of difference, but only one tooth, and I tell you it's going to make a world of difference at 100k. That's what we want. So you're going to whack that in there like that, which is going to be that easy. And now look at that, man. That. Get it right, get it right. There we go. That is how easy it is. The only thing I was a little bit concerned about is clearances around here. It's so close, because we're putting a bigger sprocket on, of course, so clearances are going to be compromised slightly. And I was a little concerned about this cover, but it should be right. So you whack your bolt on, your 12mm bolt. It holds the front sprocket in posi with the washers on that came off with it. Nip it up so you've got that tension on the back wheel, which is great. I reckon that's not sitting properly for some reason. That washer's slipped down, there we go. So make sure you get that rear washer in line with the front washer, because that was actually biting up on the front washer and not in properly. So there you go. That is the front sprocket changed out. How easy is that? That's awesome. So now what we're going to do is adjust the chain back up to this tension here, 40 to 50 millimeters from the swing arm to the chain. All right. And I tell you what, that was the easiest job you'll ever do. I thought that was going to be a mission. I thought I'd have to pull the rear wheel. I thought I'd have to pull the chain off the back sprocket to be able to get enough tension onto this to be able to move the front sprocket off. So that was all. That was so easy. Now that I say that, something will go pear-shaped. She's all good, she's done. Just nip up your Allen key bolts. Don't strip them. There we go, just nip them up nicely. That is the front done. So just pull the wheel back, get some tension back into that chain. Happy days. Look at that. There you go. Done. It's got the tension back on it slightly, that chain, so that looks about 40 or 50 mil there. So you've got these little notches up here all on the swing arm. So there's notches. So that's where you're going to be lining up either side of that mark right there. Both sides, just keep them the same on these notches from the front. And you know you've got the wheel lined up. Alright, hopefully you can see that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. 5.5 notches that side. So you just need the same the other side. You know your wheel's exactly lined up. So 5.5 you need. Just whack it out a bit. This bolt's a little bit tighter than the other side for some reason. Needs a bit of lube. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 is exactly the same as the other side. So nip that up. Nip that one up. Don't forget to nip up your 27mm axle nut, sorry. That is the job done. Right, before we take her for a spin, this needs a little bit of loving, a little bit of lubrication. Don't be too fancy with your lube, as long as you get it on there. The front sprocket will love you for it. It's the one I use, chain wax, good stuff. Let's take it for a spin and see what we've done. That was a piece of cake, that job. Absolutely easy. I tell you what, that took about 10 minutes. For an idiot like me, you'll be fine. Have a go at it, it's easy. So, let's take it for a spin and see the comparison. Super happy. Let's go. Wow, there you go. I can actually feel that already, just in first gear, coming out of there. It's just a little bit taller, which is exactly what we want. Alright, here we go. That's really amazing. Just first gear, I can just feel it's a little bit taller. Just a little bit taller. Here we go, comparison time. So much longer in the gears, that is amazing. See, I'm in 5th gear now. I have to get it into top gear and hold it at 60. That's dropped. That's 60 k's. That's dropped about 700 RPM because that's now back to about 3.2, and it was 4,000. How good is that? Let's get her up to 80 k's. Top gear again. There's your 80 k's. That's 4,500. So that's taken off 500 RPM. 400 to 500 RPM at 80 k's an hour. That is sensational. But it's still got plenty of pull up this hill. Still pulling up this hill really simply, really easily. There you go, that's amazing. The comparison is chalk and cheese. This is so much nicer to ride this bike now. The revs are pulled way back. It's just not as vibrating under your butt. It's just smoother. Man, I highly recommend this. This is just good shit. It cost about $30, I think, for that sprocket. 10 minutes work. Happy days. It is sensational. Love it. There goes a couple of Harleys. Let's go forward driving, dude. Let's go off-road. Anytime today. We'll be fine. Oh, here we go. Here we go. How cool is that? 100 k's an hour, 5,500 RPM. That is magnificent. Just perfect. It's taking the vibration out of the seat. And you can just feel it's way taller in the gears. You can just feel it's just got extra legs. Happy days! Let's get home and smash a beer. Here we are, back at the ranch. Oh man, that is awesome. How good is that? That has knocked off about 700 to 800 RPM at 60k, about 500 at 80 k's, and again around 500 RPM at 100 k's an hour. That is just sensational. For 10 minutes work, $30. I am one happy desert.